so here's some stretches for your adductors. So in this position, you can choose to put some little cushions under your knees if it's too much. So depending on how tight you are through the hips and the adductors, you may find it more comfortable just to prop your legs up a little bit with the cushions, allow yourself to relax into it, and over time you might want to take those cushions out or leave them there as your legs learn to just relax over time. So this would be one of your stretches for the adductors and the hips. Just allowing the knees to soften and relax. So if you're super tight in this area, it's highly likely that as soon as your knees drop down, you feel the loading and that discomfort, and you'll want to almost resist it. So you'll want to almost hold a contraction so you don't go too low and too deep into that stretch. So if that's the case, what I want you to try and do is take your mind's eye to those tight muscles and try and just breathe through and relax. Again, you want to be super comfortable in this position. So you might want to have a little pillow under your head so that you're not fighting and resisting any muscles. You want it to be super passive and relaxed. Just going to hang out in this position. Now, if you're doing this as part of a tight pelvic floor regime, then another nice little suggestion would be to have a heat pack, and you can put it here just between the hips to soften and help you relax through the pelvic region. Okay, so another way of getting a nice deep stretch through the adductors is to add a little bit of load. So with some weights, for example, so you might just use your hands and just put some pressure and pushing the inner thighs down to the ground. You might not get enough movement there, so you could use the help of some weights. So what you'll do is you push those weights up towards the end, so towards the knees, and that's going to just push those knees down towards that ground more and more. And remembering you're always breathing through this, aiming to do the diaphragmatic breathing, which is where we breathe in through the nose, widening through the ribs, and as the breath comes in, the belly rises with the breath. So you breathing in through the nose or the mouth, down into the ribs. Ribs widen, not flare, widen. Belly rises with the breath, belly softens. And another alternative to get a deeper stretch is to put a resistance band around the feet, and as your knees fall open and you get more and more comfortable, you can start bringing those feet further up towards their groin and allowing the knees to drop open more. Now, depending on how tight you are and how uncomfortable, you might find that you'll need to use your hands just to support and lift up the thighs and the knees back together so that it doesn't hurt so much through the hips.